Hello everybody, welcome to a World of Warship Blitz video. This video is a little different. I'm sort of experimenting, so if I come out with something a little bit different and you like it, do mention that you like it. If I come out with something a little bit different and it's rubbish, then just say that you didn't like it. You can call it rubbish if you want. Today's video is the first of a two-part series where we will be talking about how to Kraken. And what I mean by how to Kraken is that achieving 5 kills in a battle is actually quite a significant event. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the ships that I know can achieve the Kraken because they have done so. So I've ranked these, and this video is focusing on cruisers because that's, well, cruisers, and let's go cruisers and see how we go for time. So basically, to achieve a Kraken, you need to kill 5 enemy ships. Now, I can tell you that there are certain conditions, looking through my list of ships, that help to achieve a Kraken. Number one is guns, right? That's the common theme, right? When I achieve a Kraken in a ship, basically, almost without exception, it's due to guns. The second thing is it needs to be the right kind of battle, generally a scrappy battle, a close together battle. And yeah, you don't get Krakens by playing it safe. So for some of them, for example, they have been a desperate last stand just to get those final hits in those ships in the final seconds. And some of them have felt, well, a little bit more effortless. In one game, I think I remember in one of the cruisers, I just felt like I was everywhere at once. And yeah, but often what you're finding is that it's a little bit of luck because you're not able to take 5 ships from full health to 0 down by yourself. Often there's a bit of, well, should I say, cleaning up involved. Anyway, this ship, which is De Grasse, I've got up, but it's not a ship that's achieved a 5 kill Kraken. The first ship on the list, and we'll start at the bottom for the cruisers. Now, there are 6 cruisers on this list. I'm going to ignore the Black Swan and the Hermelin, which are the tier 1s, which for some reason seem to have achieved a Kraken, but that will probably be because most games at that level are against bots. And if you're patient, then away you go. So the first ship on the list surprised me completely. This ship here, my Baltimore, has achieved the Exalted Kraken result. So I've ranked them. So basically, because the stats don't tell me how often I've achieved a Kraken, I've had to basically look at the most valuable player statistic. So this has an 8% most valuable player rate, which is the lowest, which is why it's at the bottom of the list for the cruisers. Where there's a tie on most valuable player, I look at the number of battles, because basically the larger number of battles, the more likely it is that you're just through sheer luck going to get yourself that Kraken. So if you've got a very small number of battles, then it's a good sign that, yeah, it's likely to occur more often. So as you can see, the equipment, the most surprising thing about the Baltimore is I'm a bit of a cheapskate on my tier 9, so I don't really enjoy tier 9 that much. Tier 8, tier 7, tier 6 are my favourites. Because they just feel a bit more balanced. And as you can see, I haven't really splashed out. So to get a Kraken in a ship that has, well, no commander and no equipment and questionable camouflage is quite an achievement, but still bottom of the list. It is bottom of the list probably because it's got the least most valuable player rate, as I said, 8%. It's got a 52% win rate, and it's after 96 battles. So yeah, I think got lucky. The next item on the list is not a surprise for me. This is the Pensacola, the tier 6 American heavy cruiser. I love this ship. When I first got it, I love it, and I still love it. And this thing hits hard. You can see I've been mucking around with the equipment. That it hasn't always had that little AA gun there sitting in the middle. I think I probably need to sell it off and get it back to its normal state. But it's got a 12% most valuable player rate, so not that high. And it's after 208 battles. And the reason that it's the second on the list rather than the top on the list, or let's give the game away a little bit. It's 5th position rather than 1st position, is because of that incredible number of battles in it, 208. The next item was a surprise. So this is number 4 on the list, and I've got to go and find it. In fact, I think I've filtered it out. No, I haven't filtered it out. I have sold it. Okay, I got a Kraken in a ship that I rage sold. So the Aoba is the tier 6 Japanese cruiser, and I can tell you it is quite a shock after the Furitaka. The ship is has the Furitaka's armour, and it just feels like it's got the manoeuvrability of a battleship. I lost a lot of games in that. I've managed to lift the win rate to 54%, which is pretty impressive. It is a 12% most valuable player. Basically, the rule in the Aoba I found is that if the enemy targeted you, it was a crap game, and if the enemy neglected to target you because you're in an Aoba, it was a good game. And one of those games, I managed to clean up 5 enemy ships. So this is a ship that can achieve the Kraken. It's not one that I would be using to hunt down Krakens in. Yes, and I obviously, having sold it, yes, it probably tells you as much about the ship as you need to know. I needed the port slot, and I didn't really think that I'd be playing it again. Number 5, so number 3 on the list is also a ship that I have sold. It's also a ship that I did extremely well in, and it started my love affair with American cruisers, although after the Pensacola, the New Orleans, the Wichita, and the Brooklyn, with their turrets rather than these casement-mounted guns, the shine has gone off the Omaha. It had a 67% win rate after 77 games, 12% most valuable player rate, and it's achieved that Kraken capability, or proof of Kraken ship, because basically my highest number of kills in it is 5. It is a good ship, but yeah, once you move on from it, I've got to say I prefer turrets. I like to be able to concentrate my fire. That is number 3 on the list of cruisers capable of achieving a Kraken. Number 2 should come as no surprise to anybody who watches my videos. Number 2 is number 2 because of its most valuable player rate, certainly not because of the number of battles. So this is a 13% most valuable player rate, but it has a 64% win rate. That's I'll have to do the numbers, but I think that's sort of increased steeply recently because basically I've really come into my own with this ship. However, part of that reason is because of the sheer number of battles at 394, which is why, yeah, if we were just doing it on a number of battles, but I'm sure it's achieved a Kraken multiple times. I do vaguely remember some of those battles being where good long-range shooting, the capability to turn and burn, and yeah, they also would have been games with the high numbers of destroyers and light cruisers, because this ship is not great at sinking battleships unless you catch them on that last slither. That is number 2. No surprise. Number 1, well, I'm not sure. I'm back into the tech tree, because number 1 is, believe it or not, the Dresden. 17 battles, and one of them was a 5-ship sinker. 52% win rate, 17% most valuable player rate. Yes, I think it's probably because, well, I don't actually remember that battle. Certainly I didn't keep the ship. I didn't love it. I didn't love the Kolberg either. I don't love the St. Louis. I don't really enjoy the ships that have guns sort of sprayed all around the outsides. I prefer turrets, but still. The Dresden is, after 17 battles, having one of them taking down 5 enemy ships, it's a pretty good result. But I suspect there may have been some tier 1s involved in there as well, and a lot of bots, so maybe I should have thrown this in with the Black Swan and the Hermelin. Anyway, that is cruisers that can achieve the Kraken. I recommend that if you look through your battle stats, you may be surprised what made it, because when we get to the the next videos, you'll see some more surprises, particularly in amongst the battleships. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you found that educational, and we'll catch you next time.